What is going on, guys? Thanks so much for tuning in back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a top 8 things I love about my 2014 Subaru BRZ. So let's get started. Alright guys, so starting out with number 8, it's going to actually be the space in the car. It's actually very deceiving from what you see on the outside. Once you get inside the car, there's a bunch of room to put all your stuff. If you're going on long trips with friends, things like that, you can always put down the rear seats, those fold down, and you'll be able to put, we've been able to put a bunch of things in there. Full set of tires and wheels. Big, like 285 305s. It'll fit in this car. At one point we were able to fit a 65-inch TV in the back when we moved homes. So if that doesn't put it in perspective for you, what two-seater vehicle can do that? It's a sports car. Think about that. The driver and the passenger have ample amounts of leg room if you are tall. I know people 6 foot and above that are able to drive this car no problem. Other than the rear seats, if you're in the rear seat, good luck, because it's basically no rear seat. Number 7, that's going to be the transmission on this vehicle. Now, you can choose from a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic. I don't know why you would want an automatic, because the manuals are so much better. 0 to 60 time on the manual is actually a full second faster than the automatic. The gearing is very short. It is super notchy. Now, that's actually from the factory. It comes super notchy. You can throw in stiffer neutral springs and a harder bushing, or there's like 12 different pieces that you can actually interchange in the transmission that'll give you a better feel. But from the factory, it's amazing. Now that leads us on to number 6, which is going to be the amount of mods available for this car. Now, you can get anything from wide body kits to, there's probably 20 different types of coilover systems, 15 different types of exhaust systems, and that's just for the catback itself. You can make it into a stance car, you can make it a drift car, you can make it into a track inspired build like mine. You can throw on wings and canards, splitters, side skirts. Like, I could go on, like literally you can give it your own style. Not every one of them is going to be the same. I haven't found one that looks like mine yet. You can do whatever you want, and that's the reason why I love this car. So now, following into how many mods you can do, number 5 is going to have to be how easy it is to actually work on this car. Now, if you're a beginner and you're just new to cars, you're just getting into this is probably going to be a very good choice for you. If you're new to working on cars, after you get this car, you go down to Home Depot, you get yourself a regular metric socket set. You're going to be able to work on a majority of the things on this car. Everything on this car is super accessible, very easy to work on. Your belt system is all right in front of you. There's nothing blocking the way. Brakes are just regular standard brakes. You don't need any special tools. The only thing that's hard to work on with this car is going to be the spark plugs. Since it's a horizontally opposed 4-cylinder motor out of a Subaru, the spark plugs are going to be on the side right by the frame rail, so they'll give you about that much room to play with in between. It's not a lot. Lena did it herself. We just did a transmission swap on her car and the clutch job on my car. She was able to do a motor swap on her own. So if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Moving on, number 4 is going to be the looks of this car. Super aggressive lines. Just look at it. It looks like a race car. I think every little piece, down from like the headlights to the grille to the tail lights, everything is sharp, sleek, and it just looks aggressive. To me, the car screams race car. This is probably one of the best looking cars in my opinion, and especially for the price. For I think we got this for $22,000, around there. I don't think I'd own any other car other than like a Ferrari F40, which I obviously cannot afford right now. Now, number 3 is going to be the sound of the exhaust. Now, this car comes from the factory with an FA20 motor. The sound it makes is what everyone calls is the Subaru rumble. Now, just to give you a rundown, there are so many options, but the one that I chose with this car would be a Tomei unequal length header, a Tomei overpipe that runs from a NVIDIA catless front pipe, and then we have the NVIDIA N1 exhaust. Eventually I will change out the cat back, but this is what it's going to sound like for now. Comment down below if you'd go with my setup. We'll move on to number 2. This car has been so reliable. I think I've owned it for a little past 3 years now, and the only thing that's ever happened to this car was the throwout bearing. If you haven't seen that video, it just happened last week. Go check it out. That was a pretty okay video. I liked it. But yeah, and that's a wearable item. These parts go out. We've hit 65,000 miles just about, and there hasn't been a single issue other than that throwout bearing. Granted, I do take care of the car. I do oil changes at every 3,000 miles instead of 7,500, which is what the dealership recommends. So I do kind of baby the car, but I do romp on it from time to time, and it's still been as reliable as the day I got it. And the top thing that I love about this car is gonna have to be the way this car handles. The 50-50 weight distribution of this vehicle is probably one of the best things about how it handles so well. Me specifically, I have a Tanabe coilover system, so it's a little bit stiffer, but other than the low center of gravity from the motor, because it is a low set motor, there's just, you can't beat it. You can take a corner at 65 miles an hour, a tight corner. As long as you don't bottom out the suspension, that car will stay planted to the ground. If you're out in an open field, one good clutch kick, the car is stiff enough to bring the entire ass end around.
Awesome.
Still learning how to drift. The turn-in response is also amazing. The electronic steering rack they put in this car, it feels heavy, but it also doesn't feel like it's non-powered either. So you really just have to drive one. If you got a buddy or you got a Subaru dealership near you, go check this car out. It's awesome to drive. I'm not sponsored. Subaru, you know how to get in touch with me. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, we really appreciate it. If you haven't already, go hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a like if you liked the video. Comment what you liked, what you hated about the car. Let us know. We really thrive off the feedback. If you want to stay up to date on these cars, at 86 Goals is our Instagram handle. You can go check out all the builds there. We do stay completely up to date. Every day we post at least once a day. So we're very active on Instagram. Go check us out there. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Take it easy.